Hello, and welcome to 5 Minutes with Nate. This month's topic, starting strong. Today I want to discuss year planning. Now I think we all know, I need to have an idea for the year, and I want to give some tips to help with that. First, of course, look at the state standards. That's what we're required to teach. Now, one thing we need to understand with state standards, they're not all the same. They're not all equal. Often we look and go, okay, we have 20 standards. That means 20 weeks. No, not really. We have to look and then prioritize our standards. For example, in third grade math, for geometry, there's a concept that says take a shape and divide it into equal parts. So into fourths, into fifths, into thirds. Helps with the concept of fractions and also the area of a shape. Great concept. But compare that to learning how to multiply and the whole foundations for multiplication. That requires so much more time, so much more effort, so much more valuable. And this geometry concept is fun and easy. So my time investment is not going to be the same. I'm really going to invest in multiplication, but not so much in that. So take a look at it, at your standards, and prioritize them. Also, as you're looking at the standards, get the big idea for the year. Really often we just teach and just move along, especially if we're following a textbook. We teach and we complete things and we get to the end of the year and what have we accomplished? What's going to stick in students' minds forever? So we need to question yourself, what's the big idea for the year? So I'm teaching August to May or June, and then I get done. What can students do? What have they become? What have they learned? It's important for us to set a big idea for the year. Now that big idea leads to smaller ideas, to structuring our chapters or units. They have their own big ideas that link to the big idea, main idea for the year. And so it all leads together. Also helps with project-based learning or personalized learning. Instead of our goal is to finish the book, what's our big goal? And then everything we do can link to that, can focus in towards that goal. When you plan your month-to-month topics and ideas, and the big ideas for each month, give yourself some flexibility, some buffer. So often we set a calendar for a year, and May has 1 or 2 chapters that we need to finish, but I'm going to suggest no. We all know what happens. There's interruptions. There's picture day. There's state testing. There's just so many things that happen, and time gets extended. Maybe we have a new group of students with delays, and so we have to teach and catch them up before we move on. So our time extends a little or extends a lot. And so maybe comes instead of 1, 2 chapters, 3, 4, 5 chapters worth of material left, and we try and teach as much as possible. But is that quality teaching? Give some space. The last few weeks of May, leave open. Allow for flexibility. At the same time, it means we should keep yourself on pace. The best time to squish something is January, not May. So after you've been doing all this, looking at themes, looking at plans, look at the textbook. Look at your curricular resources. What do you have? And there's 2 kind of questions you need to ask yourself. First, what does the textbook have extra beyond what I've found in the standards that, I like that lesson, I'm going to teach that. Because it's worth it. And then at the same time, ask yourself, what is not worth my time? Then instead of accepting things as they are, I have my standards and my goals. Have I met them all? If the curriculum doesn't have that resource, we need to add. We need to go ask the library or search online or ask another teacher. Pull in the resources that we need to supplement the curriculum with good things to make sure you have a beautiful year and that you achieve your objective of the big idea. So that's 5 Minutes with Nate. Have a great day and a great year.